Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, as we head through this forecast video, my main focus is going to be an update on the winter storm that we have sneaking through southern portions of the Ag Belt, kind of right along the Highway 1 corridor as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours. We'll start with a look at temperatures. We've been watching this big area of very cold air continuing to circulate primarily off to the north of the prairie, but at times seeing lobes of that very cold air rotate through the prairie. And again, we saw some of that over the last 24 to 48 hours. Now again, the coldest air is pivoted off to the east and to the north of the prairie, but we'll once again see a shot of that colder air be brought south into the prairie on the backside of our coming storm system. The radar is generally quiet across the prairie right now. We've got a little bit of light activity showing up across far southern Alberta, maybe some snow flurries in that area. Winnipeg likely seeing the snow flurries come to an end this morning. Here's the satellite picture, and the program that I use here to get the animations is having a bit of a tough Monday. So we're going to use static images here, but really you can almost make out the flow of the atmosphere even just looking at a still image of the jet stream. And I'm going to go ahead and show you here. We're doing something like that. Got a little system right now sneaking through portions of the Great Lakes here. Here's our ridge across portions of the Pacific Northwest. Strong onshore flow here, bringing lots of moisture into British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest this morning. That is the disturbance, though, that's going to be moving through the prairie as we get going through here into midweek. So here's a look at 500 millibars, our height anomalies, and you can see the pattern here that I've been talking about over the last several weeks. An active storm track coming right through this corridor, through the North Pacific, into the Gulf of Alaska, across the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia, and then down into parts of the central United States. And here you can see the wavy nature to the jet stream. Again, storm system, storm system, storm system. We've got our ridges that bring those temporary warm-ups here. And it's just been a parade from northwest to southeast across the region. And that's going to be continuing here as we head through the next 5 to 7 days. Again, we get this next little wave that swings in. A little wave. It's going to bring some accumulating snow to the region as it deepens and swings down into the midsection of the U.S. So this is what we've got on Wednesday into Thursday. We'll be getting our snow across the prairie. We'll be getting that next shot of cold air coming in, especially across eastern portions of the prairie down into the Great Lakes. But again, it is a brief chill because ridging quickly moves in on the backside. Now, of course, where we get some snow on the ground, kind of generally, again, in the Highway 1 corridor, where I'm thinking we're going to get 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. That's going to take a minute to melt. That's going to mute this little warm-up on the heels there. But the good news is it's not a situation where we drop some fresh snow and then anchor a trough across the region and do something like 5 to 7 days of bitterly cold Arctic air as we do at times. It's not going to be something like that. This pattern continues to move, so there will be shots of cold air, but then a quick reset back to kind of more seasonally appropriate, if not more mild conditions where we don't have snow on the ground. That's illustrated here. We'll look at the temperature anomaly map here as we head through the next week or so. Again, on the mild side right now with much of the cold air locked in up to our north. And locked in is a bad way to say it because here it comes as we go through the next 48 hours. Wednesday into Thursday, we get a big shot of that cold air dropping down into, again, eastern portions of the prairie bear the brunt of this. Eastern portions of Saskatchewan, central and southern Manitoba, whereas as you go over toward Alberta, we're already starting to warm up on the heels here as ridging sets in. So a return to more mild conditions as we head into the weekend, but of course we've got fresh snow on the ground. And as we head into Sunday and Monday, likely looking at another shot of that cold air coming in. So when I said the cold air is locked in off to our north, that was a lie. The cold air has been at times pushed back off to our north, but then again, at times every 3 days or so, we're getting a little shot of that here across the prairie. So here's the precipitation forecast. Here's what everyone wants to see. We're watching this system make its way in as we get into, it's going to be late tonight that we'll see the first snowflakes falling here across southern portions of Alberta. And then as we get into early Tuesday morning, we'll see the snow start falling along the Highway 1 corridor in portions of Saskatchewan. And then as we head into, sorry, did not mean to let it advance there. Let's get back to where we were here. Tuesday morning, and then as we get into late in the day Tuesday evening, snow will begin falling in the Winnipeg area. And then maximizing in the Winnipeg area as we get into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. So the timing on this, again, this is midnight tonight, snow starting to fall in Calgary, snow starting to fall in Medicine Hat, and likely starting to fall shortly thereafter in southwestern portions of Saskatchewan, getting into Highway 1 in Saskatchewan as we get into Tuesday morning. So this is sunrise on Tuesday. Snow is ripping in the Calgary area. Snow kind of right on the line there in Medicine Hat. You may get dry slotted. What I mean by that is you see the drier air come in here and kind of bring the snow to an end across far southern portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan here. So could be the heaviest snow is just north of the Brandon area, but this is what we've got Tuesday morning. Heavy snow, probably a good east wind here, 20 to 40 knots. Blowing that snow at times, so low visibility possible here during the day on Tuesday along Highway 1. Likely going to be treacherous travel conditions as that snow quickly accumulates with those strong easterly winds. Again, this is a look at Tuesday evening. As the sun goes down, we hit dark. Snow is probably tapering off in Calgary by sunset on Tuesday. Maybe some light snow still falling in Medicine Hat. The snow should be at its peak in Regina as we get into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening with those strong winds. Some snow may be moving into Brandon by the time we get to sunset on Tuesday. And then same thing in Winnipeg. That snow likely moving in as we get into the dark hours Tuesday evening. And then the snow peaks overnight Tuesday in Winnipeg before tapering off during the day on Wednesday. And that is when that shot of cold air comes in on the backside here, adding insult to injury or adding pleasure. If you love the winter here, it's going to be downright cold on the backside of this system here as we get into the day on Wednesday. I mentioned the winds. These are the peak wind gusts as forecast by the European operational model between the now and Wednesday night as the storm system makes its way through. So again, where we're seeing that heavy snow at times accompanied by winds gusting anywhere from 40 to 60 kilometers per hour, that is going to lead to some very low visibility, blowing and drifting snow, and treacherous travel conditions along the Highway 1 corridor. Remarkable agreement when we look at our weather models here and their forecast for not only the amount of snow, but the location of the heaviest snow band. And we've been watching this and allowing for a potential north or southward shift. But as we kind of look at the Calgary to Regina to Winnipeg corridor here, that's where we're talking about 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, some locally higher amounts possible here, 20 to 25 centimeters of snow. And then when I add in the NAM model, again, very good agreement on the total amounts and the location here. So the heaviest snow likely going to be, again, from Calgary, maybe a little bit north of you here in Brandon, right through the Regina area. Winnipeg, you're going to be kind of right on that line, probably very close to 10 centimeters, give or take just a bit. But again, right in the middle of that narrow band here, we're probably going to be talking about 20 to maybe a couple of reports of 25 centimeters of snow by the time we get to Thursday and this begins to taper off. So here's a look at your temperatures then in a few select cities. Calgary, again, you get that shot of cold air, but not nearly as intense as it's going to be off to the east, though, down to -3 for the high on Tuesday, 0 on Wednesday with a low of -14, but then shooting right back up to 6 on Thursday. Medicine Hat, similar look here. You really feel the cold air as you make your way off to the east here. Regina, a high of -17 with some fresh snow on the ground, -7, -6. Those highs remain in the -5 to -10 range as we finish up the work week. Saskatoon, here's your 10-day temperature trend, and we'll look at the same thing here in Winnipeg. Again, the cold is going to be most severe in the east. So Winnipeg, a high of -16, -20, those lows in the -20s to near -30 on Thursday morning, likely, again, with some fresh snow on the ground in that area. We'll be back to talk to you once again on Wednesday morning. A reminder, we are shuffling things around with our regional forecasts. The Wednesday and Friday Canadian Prairie forecasts will be gone after we get to the other side of the holidays. I will talk to you again on Wednesday. We'll check in on our winter storm across the region. But then as we get into the first of the new year, we're going to go down to a once weekly video for the Canadian Prairie. It'll be released on Monday morning. It will allow me to kind of look at the next 5 days, the coming work week, and set the detailed expectations on any storm systems moving through, any potentially high impact weather events as it pertains to agriculture. And then we'll be able to also look beyond that into the weeks 2 and 3 time frame to help set the table on what you can expect, not only going through this week in detail, but a little bit of an idea in the back of your head where we're headed in weeks 2 and week 3. Additionally, below that, we're going to have a set of maps here set just for the Canadian Prairie so that you can check in on the relevant weather variables throughout the day whenever it is that you're curious about those. And then in the absence of the Wednesday and Friday videos, this is going to free me up, in addition to not doing the US videos on Tuesday and Friday. If I'm not living in video content mode, most of the mornings here, I'll be able to do more frequent daily, multiple times a day updates on the Canadian regional forecast section within the Nutrien and Agrible employee and customer portals. That's where I can just shoot out little updates on the storm system here. Here's what we're looking at for snow accumulations. This is the timing for each of the cities in the area or each of the regions in the area. So we will really be able to kind of play with this and explore some new ways to deliver some of this really impactful weather information in the best way possible. So again, just wanted to remind you that is coming. If you have any questions or feedback on that, my contact information is on the screen. I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, have a wonderful Monday, and we'll talk to you again on Wednesday morning.